Hello and welcome to the deep dive. Today, you've handed us some uh, really captivating source material. It's a listener's case study about a family's quite extraordinary experiences along the mystical Mekong River.
Yes, it's a fascinating account. It weaves together these deeply personal stories, local legends, and some, well, profound spiritual insights.
Absolutely. It feels like a rich tapestry. So, our mission today is to unpack these narratives, right? We're exploring the interplay of ancient beliefs, personal events.
And the concept of karma, specifically as it's explained within the source material we have, we'll be looking for those aha moments, those connections between what seems inexplicable and maybe a deeper understanding.
Exactly. We're going on a journey, basically, from France back to Laos. We're delving into the life of this woman whose family experiences left her with so many questions, questions that it seems only spiritual wisdom could really answer. So settle in, because we're about to explore the depths of this incredible story. Okay, let's dive in. So our journey begins with the central figure, this Lao woman. She moved to France way back in 1970, but she kept these really deep ties to her homeland and especially to the Mekong River.
Right, the river she grew up next to.
Yeah, exactly. She grew up with it, swam, and played in it daily as a child. I mean, for her, the Mekong was literally life itself.
And that deep connection to water, it seems to be a really significant thread running through the whole family's story, doesn't it? Like an echo through generations.
It really does. And this connection leads us to the first pretty extraordinary event. Years later, this woman's granddaughter, who was still living back in Laos, she developed this, well, almost obsessive love for water.
Oh, interesting. How so?
She'd play in it constantly, swimming, floating, even just, dipping her feet while she was on a boat. And apparently she often heard strange sounds near the water and would even venture out alone towards the river.
Drawn to it.
Exactly. But then something truly terrifying happened. One day, the granddaughter's mother discovers, well, it's the stuff of nightmares, really, a huge cobra.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, huge, with shiny scales, a red tail, hooded up, lying right behind her sleeping daughter.
No. Right behind her.
Right behind her. The mother just screamed and screamed, but the granddaughter, she barely even stirred.
That's bizarre.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Eventually, the snake slithered off under a table. The grandfather then, he killed it with his walking stick and threw the body into the Mekong, which, has its own traditional significance.
Goodness. Imagine the shock, the fear, and just the strangeness of the daughter not reacting. So what happened after that?
Well, the granddaughter later told her aunt about a dream she'd had around that time. She dreamt she was happily traveling with two girlfriends, her age, and she could only faintly hear her mother calling from far away. She said these two friends were always in her dreams, playing, exploring places together.
Okay, so this brings up a big question, right? What were these visions? Just ordinary kid dreams?
So
More. Something deeper going on.
that's exactly what the Lao woman, the grandmother in France, wondered. She went to a revered monk for guidance. She asked him straight up, were these girls former Naga friends?
Nagas, the serpent deities associated with water.
Exactly. And was the cobra maybe one of their subordinates? Did it die holding a grudge? Was there some special connection between the granddaughter and that snake since it didn't bite her? And crucially, why couldn't these dream friends get close to her after the monk gave some initial advice?
It's fascinating how the monk's explanation, as presented in the source, ties all these threads together using this idea of karmic memory. He clarified that the granddaughter's dreams weren't actual visits.
Not real friends showing up.
No. He called them old memories, deep subconscious recollections from a past life. He explained she had actually been a Naga Maravika.
A Naga? Seriously?
Yes, a type of Naga, living under the Mekong for over 100 years in a previous existence.
Yeah.
And those two girls in her dreams, they were her playmates from that life, other Nagas.
Wow. So how did she become a Naga in the first place?
According to the monk, her worship of Nagars, when she was human in another previous life, led to her rebirth as one. So these memories, this deep contract, as the source calls it, were surfacing in her dreams now.
Okay, mind blown a little bit. What about the cobra then? Was it connected?
Not at all. According to the monk, it was just a common cobra, probably came from the overgrown area nearby, slithered into the house by chance. It wasn't trying to harm the girl.
So just a coincidence.
Pretty much. The monk said when it was struck, yes, it felt anger, but it died too quickly to form a deep resentment. Its karma just led it to be reborn as another snake. No special link to the granddaughter.
Okay, so that clears that up. But it's still amazing that these dreams were supposedly past life memories. What does
Yeah.
that imply for, us? For our own unexplained feelings or attractions.
Well, it suggests these aren't just random thoughts, are they? They could be deep imprints from past lives influencing us now without us even knowing.
Right. And why couldn't the dream friends approach her after she followed the monk's advice?
Ah, that's key. After the granddaughter did what the monk suggested, prostrating before the Buddha image, paying respects to the monk, her mind shifted. It reached a state of, peace and fearlessness. She felt protected.
Protected from within.
Exactly. Not by an external force, but by her own state of mind. And this shift, this inner peace, it caused the power of those old memories, that old contract, to just fade. The fear dissolved, and so did the ability of those dream figures to seem close or real.
Like turning on a light in a dark room.
Precisely the analogy the monk used. The darkness, the fear, the perception of these figures just disappears when the light of peace comes on. It was her perception that changed, not some external entity being blocked.
So it's about how our internal state, our peace or fear, can literally change how we perceive these echoes from the past. That's incredible.
It really is. It emphasizes the power of our own minds and spiritual practice to transform our experience.
Okay, so that insight into past lives impacting the present sort of sets the stage for the next story, doesn't it? Another mystery within the same family, again connected to the Mekong.
Yes, moving forward a generation, but the river remains central.
Right. This story involves a really tragic and mysterious death. The family was having dinner by the Mekong. Sounds like a beautiful evening, almost magical. One brother-in-law who was visiting from the U.S.,
Okay.
he was just captivated by the sunset over the river, so he asked his Lao brother-in-law, hey, wait a sec, I gotta grab my camera. He just wanted to capture the moment.
A simple, understandable impulse.
Totally. But in that brief moment he was gone, something just unthinkable happened. When the U.S. brother-in-law came back, camera in hand, the Lao brother-in-law was gone, vanished.
Just gone. No trace.
No trace. They searched frantically, of course,
Yeah.
and the only things they found were his personal items, his necklace, rings, bracelets, watch, all carefully placed inside the car's glove compartment.
Carefully placed, that's all. Almost deliberate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he took them off himself before whatever happened. And then, to make things worse, this sudden heavy rainstorm started, halting the search. Very unsettling.
The timing, the meticulous placement of the jewelry.
Yeah.
It really deepens the mystery. It doesn't sound like a simple accident.
No, it doesn't. And this immediately reminded the Lao woman, our central figure, of those local legends she grew up with, about Mother May Mui, Mother May Song Nang.
Ah, river spirits.
Yeah, spirits said to cause bachelors to die mysteriously by the river, but her brother-in-law was married, so that didn't quite fit. She started wondering, okay, was it Nagas then? Did they take him even though he's married? And where did he go after death?
These are huge questions to grapple with after such a sudden loss.
Hmm.
What did the monk, Phra Noi, say about this?
Yeah.
Well, this is where it gets quite astonishing again. Phra Noi gave a remarkably precise explanation. He stated, quite definitively apparently, that the brother-in-law had fallen into the water. But then he predicted the exact date, time, and location where his body would eventually surface.
He predicted where and when it would be found. In the Mekong. That river is huge and powerful.
Exactly. And despite that, the source says his body was found 3 days later, precisely as the monk foretold. Recognizable by his clothes, even after being in the water. That level of predictive accuracy is, well, it's striking.
Striking is an understatement. What does that kind of precision suggest, according to the source? Is it psychic ability or something tied to karma? And more importantly, why did this happen? What was the monk's explanation beyond just falling in?
It suggests a very deep spiritual insight, certainly. The monk explained the why wasn't about Nagas or river spirits. It was past karma.
Ah, karma again, from a past life.
Yes. He said that in a previous life, this brother-in-law had been a merchant. He married into a wealthier family, and after his in-laws passed away, he got greedy. He plotted to take over the whole family business.
Oh, dear. How?
He lured his wife's younger brother down to a river, pushed him in, and drowned him. Deliberately.
That's terrible.
A very grave act. And for that, the monk said, he suffered immensely in a lower realm, and abaya like a hell realm, for a long time. His death in the Mekong in this life wasn't the main punishment, but rather a residual effect, a kind of karmic echo, or a fragment of karma from that specific drowning incident.
So it's like the universe balancing the books on a very specific lingering detail, even after the main suffering happened elsewhere.
That seems to be the idea presented here, a final playing out of that specific negative action, resulting in a similar end by water.
It's a sobering thought about consequences. Okay, so after he died this time, where did his spirit or consciousness go?
The monk explained he became what's called a subtle body, or kaya layat, an ethereal form. And because of his attachments, he managed to return, in a sense, to his family, lingering near them.
So he's still around.
In a way, he now exists as a lower-level Brahma deity, a from Thewa, specifically in Laos. It's a heavenly realm, but he's still connected or tethered to his home region, his family. He's in a state where he can receive merits now.
Merits, like good karma sent his way.
Exactly. The monk advised the family to frequently dedicate merits to him through their own good deeds, prayers, offerings, and this would improve his condition, help him spiritually. Even his body surfacing wasn't supernatural, just a natural result playing out, part of the karmic process.
That's a very detailed picture of the afterlife state. How does receiving merits actually work for a being like that, a Brahma deity still tied to a place? What does it do?
Think of it like spiritual fuel or positive energy. For a being in that state, especially one with past negative karma still echoing, these merits help purify their subtle form, ease any remaining suffering, and elevate their consciousness. It helps them progress towards higher, more peaceful states. It's a way the living can actively help the deceased on their journey.
It really shows karma, as explained here, isn't just a simple cause and effect thing. It's complex, multi-layered, echoing across lives and even realms.
Precisely. It's a profound feedback loop.
And these karmic ripples, or maybe the echoes of love and connection, they didn't stop there, did they? The story continues with the son of the man who drowned.
Yes, the deceased brother-in-law's son. He faced his own major challenge not long after his father's death.
Right. So the nephew, he won a scholarship to study in Poland. Great opportunity. But while he was there, he got seriously ill. Inflamed thyroid, developed 2 swollen lumps, potentially dangerous, might spread. His mother, obviously worried sick, arranged for him to come back to Laos.
A difficult situation being so far from home and getting that sick.
Incredibly difficult. And here's where it gets really astonishing. He was incredibly weak, emaciated, could barely walk. But somehow he made that incredibly long journey from Poland back to Vientiane, Laos, completely alone.
Alone. In that condition. How?
That's what everyone wondered. When his family met him at the airport, they were shocked. He looked skeletal, pale, and then he told them something just unbelievable. He said his deceased father had been with him.
His father. The one who died in the Mekong.
Yes. He claimed his father accompanied him the entire journey, from Poland all the way back to Vientiane, caring for him, feeding him, giving him water, looking after him with loving concern.
Wow. That's incredibly poignant. A powerful image of a father's love reaching across death itself.
It really is. But practically, he still couldn't recover in Laos. So they eventually took him to France for treatment. There, thankfully, he made a full recovery, finished his studies, and eventually went back to Laos.
That's good news about his recovery.
Definitely. But the questions lingered. Was his father really there on that journey? And what actually caused the severe thyroid illness in the first place?
Okay, let's look at the monk's explanation again. Regarding the vision of the father, the monk clarified it wasn't a physical presence.
Not literally his ghost traveling with him.
No. It was described as a vivid dream, or maybe a deep subconscious vision. It was significantly heightened, amplified by his illness, the fever, his weakened state. It was really a manifestation of his deep attachment, his constant thoughts about his father, his longing for that care and protection.
So his mind created this comforting presence.
Essentially, yes. A product of love, need, and his altered state due to illness. The monk reiterated that the father, as that Brahma deity, was still in Laos, tethered near the family. He didn't physically travel to Poland or accompany the son back.
That makes sense psychologically. The mind's power to create what we need, especially when we're vulnerable, is pretty amazing. Okay, so what about the illness itself? The thyroid condition, was that karma too?
Yes, according to the monk, this also traced back to past karma. In a previous life, this nephew had been a merchant, but one known for, intense anger.
Anger issues.
Big time. When provoked, he'd hold on to grudges fiercely. He wouldn't forgive, wouldn't let things go. He stewed in it. Importantly, though, he never physically harmed others with his anger.
So it was all internal.
Mostly, yes. His anger primarily harmed himself, the internal turmoil, the stress. So this old karma, combined with the stress and lack of rest from his studies in Poland and his current life, manifested physically as the inflamed thyroid.
That's fascinating. The connection between a past life's internal emotional state, like chronic anger, and a specific physical illness in this life.
Exactly. And because the karma wasn't considered severe, because he didn't physically harm others with his anger in that past life, that's why he was able to make a full recovery this time.
Okay, that adds another layer. What advice did the monk give him for the future to prevent it coming back?
The advice was very much focused on ongoing spiritual practice. Regularly practice generosity, dana, uphold ethical precepts, sila, cultivate meditation, pavana, and actively spread loving kindness, metta.
So basically, cultivate the opposite of that past life anger and stress.
Precisely. It highlights how our inner emotional landscape has enduring impact, and these practices are seen as the way to heal, maintain well-being, and counteract negative karmic patterns. It really links our current health, both physical and mental, to our past actions and our present spiritual efforts.
Wow, what an incredible, intricate set of stories. We've journeyed through past lives as Nagas, mysterious deaths tied to ancient karma, and illnesses stemming from old anger, all seen through this lens of karma and spiritual understanding from the source.
Indeed. This deep dive really underscores those profound, often invisible threads connecting past actions, even thoughts and emotions, to present circumstances. Whether it's subconscious memories surfacing as dreams, or tragic events echoing past misdeeds, or even illness reflecting old emotional patterns.
And the solutions offered by the monks, they consistently point inwards, don't they? Towards inner peace, making merit, living ethically. That seems to be the pathway to understanding and healing in these accounts.
Exactly. It emphasizes that our internal states, our peace, our anger, our compassion, are deeply, inextricably intertwined with our external experiences and even our physical health.
It certainly gives you a lot to think about. I mean, this source material offered such a rich tapestry of cultural beliefs, family drama, and these profound insights into, well, the human condition.
Mhm. Ultimately, this deep dive shows us that karma, as it's explained in this context, isn't just some simple cosmic scorecard of reward and punishment. It's presented as a much more complex, profound feedback loop. Our intentions, our actions, even our unspoken feelings like deep-seated anger, they have ripples, echoes across time that shape not just what happens to us, but how we perceive reality itself.
And the path to healing often starts inside.
That's the clear message. So perhaps as we wrap up, here's a thought to consider. How might our own deeply held beliefs, our subconscious memories, maybe cultivated over lifetimes according to this perspective, be shaping our present reality? How do they influence how we perceive the world, especially when we face moments of crisis or big transitions?
That's a deep one to ponder. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope these insights have enriched your understanding and maybe sparked your curiosity even further.
Until next time, keep exploring.